wind knows me. Fallen leaves, adorn my night!
Settle down! Be sanctified.
As one with wind and cloud, one with nature.
Silence!
The wind knows me. Time to go.
Settle down!
By royal...
Silence!
Ad Astra. Thank you for complete. Ad Astra. Come take a look. There will definitely be something that catches your eye. Welcome. How can I help you?
Wow, the academia sure is busy during the day. But where should we go looking for people that we know?
Traveler, Paimon.
Cyno! It's been so long since we last saw you!
Welcome back to Sumeru City. I'm delighted to meet you again. So, what brings you back here?
Oh, nothing in particular. Paimon just saw a really big mushroom out on the road the other day and suddenly missed all our friends in Sumeru.
Funnily enough, we were reminiscing about you recently too. It was at a group dinner. I look forward to hearing about your travels. Something tells me we must have a lot to catch up on.
Really? You were thinking of us too? What a coincidence!
Indeed. Or as I call it, the Biryani factor. You really want me to say the rest? Okay. It's always Rice to meet Stu again.
Oh, darn, he said it.
You like that one, huh? You must if you remember it after all this time. Admit the truth. You have long been in awe.
All right. Here's your 500 Mora.
You're exaggerating. It's only 500 Mora.
Hey, 500 Mora is still a lot of snacks to Paimon.
All right. I'll treat you to some desserts later. Anyway, I'm actually investigating a case right now. My mind...
A case? What happened?
Nothing major. But after finding out who was involved, I decided, on reflection, to handle this one myself.
Need any help? We only came here to hang out, so we've got the time. You may as well take us with you, and then when you're done, we can...
Such enthusiasm. Are you worried I'll forget about treating you to some sweets if you're not around to remind me?
What? No! Alright, was it really that obvious?
Obvious enough. Still, it's a fine idea. You are the heroes of Sumeru. It makes perfect sense to work together. All right, follow me. Do you see him? The old man flailing around?
Oh, is he the one you wanted to talk to about the case?
Correct. His name is Cyrus, a former Spontamod sage. He taught both me and Lisa.
Huh? Sino's teacher is in trouble?
It's ridiculous. I'm just an old man who enjoys a spot of gardening, shopping, and wine. What sort of person targets an old retiree?
Professor, I've brought some friends.
Ah, Sino. Now who do we have here? Hold on, let me think. A flying fairy dressed in white? A youth who does not seem to hail from this land? My goodness. You must be the legendary traveler in Paimon. I've heard all about what you've done for Sumeru.
Wow, looks like we're really famous.
I've told him about you before. You are my friends, after all. That's right. Let me summarize the situation. A couple of days ago, Professor Cyrus suddenly received a threat letter.
A threat letter?
Exactly. Who sends a threat letter to an old man like me, for goodness sake?
This is the letter in question.
Cyrus, I have uncovered your secret. If you wish to prevent it from going public, leave 10 million mora at the back door of the cafe. Secondly, don't come looking for me. You'll never find me. But I will always be watching you and all of your secrets. Finally, if you dare to report this to the Matra, there will be consequences. Wow, they sure didn't mince their words.
Clearly, this person must be desperate for Mora.
10 million mora, what a joke. I'm just a single retiree with nothing to my name beyond the tomatoes in my garden. Where do people think I'm hiding 10 million mora, huh? In my tomatoes?
There were no witnesses, so currently the letter is all we've got. So, Traveler, Paimon, let's put our heads together.
Paimon's ready too!
All right, take a look. Do you see anything suspicious? Very good.
Another thing is, some of these strokes look kind of blurry.
Possibly.
Most of the paper around here's...
It's certainly not the...
Wait! Check this out! Looks like this...
Agreed.
A colored liquid.
Looks like we're thinking along...
Arav. Ah, there he is.
Mahamatra Sino. Sir Cyrus. Ah, and the
As such, Oh,
Oh, of course!
they do look like Also, if I'm not mistaken...
Ah, of course.
Understood.
You have my gratitude.
One last thing.
Will do.
Great thinking, Sino. Yeah. Really?
The culprits approach. Whatever happens, and crucially...
Huh? Wait, are you saying...
Found you!
What do you...
You wrote the threat letter!
I don't know what you're talking about.
I sensed someone was watching us from the shadows the moment we entered the House of Dana. You managed to stay relatively well hidden. There are a lot of people here, but we were looking specifically for Arav.
I was...
You smiled when
He's smiling
There are coffee stains on the letter. You mixed some coffee with water. Closing off the exits, the cafe was a red...
You can't pin this on me! I haven't...
Really? The innocent have no Your heart's racing.
I would...
Don't try anything or you'll pay the price.
Well, that was over quickly.
You're telling me. 1 minute ago, looked like a young...
Everyone, it's all over.
Gosh, that was so fast.
The culprit's name is Raka.
Huh?
16? Cyrus!
We checked his records.
But he looks so old.
Yeah, seriously.
Foolish child.
We questioned the culprit
Oh, just spit it out. Nothing can...
very well. It's down on his luck he went to the tavern for a...
Some old woman on the street?
Is this going somewhere?
Oh, right, yes.
Maybe it's more the fact that you have the time.
Araka mentioned he'd heard a rumor. Alleged Araka believes this money to be the reason why Sir Cyrus...
Oh, a rocker.
People make up rumors all the time.
Arav, you'll have...
I completely understand.
Professor.
Oh, come on. I was...
Okay.
The academia will determine the appropriate
Who said I'm obsessed with... You seem confused. Uraka is just a young boy. All it costs me is a...
Please rest assured, Professor.
Yes, I have no doubt about that. But as a former educator...
Correct.
We looked into the family.
Oh, what a mess. You don't have to seal the evidence away yet. We have to show them how...
The relevant authorities have already reviewed the...
Oh, so you'll be able to close...
Give or take. Case...
Very good.
My apologies, Sir Cyrus.
Ah, I see. Ah, and isn't Tynar...
Wait, you mean Tynard?
He is. Tainari's master, Sir Nephit, though I must say...
Don't be outrageous. Anyway, go on now.
Please show me your credentials before borrowing books.
Not to brag, but we never had problems like this at Ratawa Hiss back when I was still teaching. And if you don't want to take my word, they were students at the time.
I was out in the forest at least 4 days a week back. Most of what I know...
Professors become a lot...
Wow.
It's a pity Kale wasn't around.
And then we'd have one more
Really? Can't you just call her...
Oh, believe me. Back when she...
Whoa, more food? Are you sure about this? We don't want to take advantage.
Oh, don't worry about it.
I thought I heard some familiar voices.
Oh, Kaveh, it's...
I've been all right, thank you.
Have you eaten yet?
That's awfully kind of you, but I just came to Lombard's to buy... So what's the occasion, anyway?
Consul...
Sounds like things have really gone downhill since I was there. My whole time as a student, I've never heard of anything remotely like that.
I can't believe how young the guy...
young people are always more susceptible to making... But still, this boy has...
Wow, yeah. Jeez.
I will always be watching you and...
If this were my son...
Luckily, I'm...
Kaveh! Your order's ready!
Coming! I'll have to get going. Have a nice evening, everyone. I'll catch you all another time.
Okay, bye-bye!
Here I am. The coffee beans are in here.
Yep, it's all there.
I'll stop babbling away now.
Oh, too tasty. Paimon's belly is about to explode.
Oh, mine too. I'll have to walk home to burn
Thanks for dinner, Sir Cyrus. Master Tainari and I will bring you some...
Well, I look forward to that. In fact, could I...
No problem at all.
I'll see you all later.
Good night, Professor. Don't let those tomatoes keep you up too late.
Hey, my tomatoes are serious business. I am not about to be beaten by Zaha Hadid. Anyway, I'll be leaving now. Don't stay up too late now, children. I bid you all a good night.
Take care. Have a safe trip home.
All right. Now, we've...
What do you mean, us
Well, I was talking with Tainari.
camping? Oh, that sounds fun. Paimon's in, right? It's been so...
Everyone, let's meet. No need to bring anything. We've already packed everything for the trip. Just bring your delightful selves and prepare to have some fun.
You got it. We'll be there.
Great. Then we'll see you tomorrow.
Makes me laugh every time.
Time to set off. Let's head to the southeast of Gandharvaville and meet up with the others.
Yeah! Skyward! The secrets of the mechanical arts are too profound to convey in a few... On this fine day, the view from the heavens must be magnificent. Oh, don't fret. One has no intent to fly off and leave you on your own.
We're here! Wow, you guys are ahead of the game. You said...
I'd say we're right about on.
Traveler, Paimon, let's go fishing together. You got it. Dinner's on us tonight. I hope I can contribute too. The other Forest Watchers gave me some fishing tips a little while ago. I'm really looking forward to giving them a try.
I saw some very appetizing mushrooms in the area, so I gathered.
Wow, camping with a forest watcher is the way to go! They think of everything! And even—
This is true. I don't think I've ever had a single rough day in this forest.
So, how has everything been going for you?
Well, there's been some high points and low points, but we've had some unforgettable—
I see. Oh, in that case, you should try a Valberry. I bought some from the market.
A valuable suggestion. Just don't bury your feelings using food.
All I wanted was to recommend something bittersweet.
Oh, I have a sudden craving for fruit tea. I'm gonna go fetch some stuff. Bye!
She sure made a run for it.
Unbelievable. She made a run for it.
So Kale chose the path of tactical retreat. Could it be... My dear friend, you know what I am about to say. Excellent. A kindred spirit. A great warrior can sense when a duel is nigh. But it looks like we'll get told off if we start playing now.
We got a bite!
I'll reel it in.
Firewood, spices, snacks, and drinks. Everything's ready. There are 3 tents. Which one do you two want to take?
How about the one on the left? Well, Paimon just thinks the ambiance here is a little better.
True. But it's also the closest to the water. If there are any sleepwalking fungi around tonight, they might stumble into your tent.
Well, that's no good. Take my weapon. You can use it to bar the entrance.
Anyone would think you were sealing the gates to King Deshret's mausoleum.
Excellent. Then this tent will be an impenetrable fortress.
I'm back! How's your appetites? Ready for the barbecue? Always. Oh, it smells so good. Paimon's drooling.
Someone sure is desperate to eat. I think it's time to add the seasoning. How do you like your skewers? Well done? Medium? Rare?
Wait, what? Isn't that just for steaks? Hey, if it works for steak, maybe it works for other things too.
Medium well for me.
Okay, these are about ready now then. It'll be a few more minutes for anyone who wants theirs well done.
Oh, that was so delicious. If Paimon's stomach had space, she'd eat 3 more skewers. I ate a lot too. Here comes the food coma.
If you're tired, then go rest.
You must be getting sleepy too, Paimon. Why don't you guys head to your tents? Cyno and I will clean up.
Tonight I show you mercy. Our sacred duel will take place another day.
Good night. Paimon's struggling to keep her eyes open.
Oh, don't forget this. The Staff of the Scarlet Sands.
Wait, you were actually being serious about that?
It's a very powerful weapon. Try it.
Paimon can't even lift that thing.
Fair enough. You sure you don't want it?
Yeah, Paimon's sure. We'll be fine. And even if we do get an uninvited guest in the night, Paimon will be here to take care of the traveler.
That reminds me of a parting king of invocations. I'll tell you about it tomorrow. But right now, it's time to rest. Sleep well and sweet dreams.
I think they should all be here. Traveler? Paimon? Are you in there? Could you come outside for a sec?
Look at this.
What the? What's this sword doing here? Is it supposed to keep out intruders?
Evidently.
What? Who is it? Oh, what time do you call this? Paimon's gonna take out the sword. Yeah! Oh, hey them, Kaveh! What are you doing here? It's the middle of the night!
Sorry to wake you up at this hour of the night, but we've got a situation on our hands.
Let's get dressed and talk about it outside.
Something has come up, and since it pertains to Cyrus and Cyno, I deemed it essential to inform you all.
Whoa, back up. Let's start from the beginning. Where'd the wine cups go? I could have sworn I left them here after I washed them. Ah, there they are.
I'll have a cup too.
Can you see if the cookies are still on the table?
They are, and so are the fruits.
Oh, this is so bland. I should have gotten a few bottles of what Cyno's group was drinking last night.
Do tell. What were they drinking?
Oh, right, I forgot to mention. So, I ran into Cyrus yesterday evening when I went to the tavern to pick up some things. He was hosting a dinner for Cyno, Tighnari, Kale, and the Traveler and Paimon. Anyway, they got a bottle of Lombard's new vintage for the table. At least, I think that's what it was. It looked pretty good. You know what it's about, right? 16-year-old kid.
I heard some people talking about it on the streets, yes. Didn't take...
I wonder what Sir Nephis and the others will make of it. Oh, Cyrus showed me the extortion letter, too. It was crudely written, but the paper... give me a sec, I'll sketch it out for you. Okay, done. Take a look. You see what I mean? I don't think I've ever seen writing paper like this around before. God knows where the culprit got it from.
Interesting. These are all motifs associated with the tribes of the desert.
What? Really?
Take this, for instance. Looks like an outline of a spire. It bears a striking resemblance to an ancient emblem. One that has...
Whose emblem is it?
It's the emblem of the Temple of Silence.
After discussing it with each other, we both agreed that something didn't feel right, so we went looking for you. This was a long way to come from the city. Alhaitham figured you were probably with Tighnari, so Gandharvaville was our first stop. But the Forest Watchers told us that you'd gone camping. Then, just as we were heading off to the campsite, we ran into Cyno. He said he was on a supply run. We exchanged a few words.
Hold on. So what's the deal with that emblem you were talking about?
Something's up, huh? Give me a second.
So you've never heard of the Temple of Silence? Well, to put it simply, it's an organization that has existed in Sumeru for over 1,000 years. These days, you can find a Temple of Silence office in the Academia. Theoretically, it's responsible for at least, that's what they tell the outside world. In truth, it's essentially a vestigial institution nowadays. There's an office with their name on it, but it's historically speaking, the original Temple of Silence is said to have been established by Hermanubis, one of the... By contrast, none of the Academia Temple's current members are from the desert region, nor do they use any symbols connected.
So the Temple of Silence at the Academia is just a fake? Wow.
It's possible. The real question is, why? My guess...
So, how do you know all this?
Did you forget? He did a...
Oh, yeah! Paimon did totally...
If you're asking me whether I'm familiar...
So much about this doesn't make sense. Why did the emblem... The student's only 16.
You said you ran into Cyno, yes?
Yep. He ran off as soon as...
Given that Cyrus is involved, he's probably halfway through solving the case by now. Still, we should try to catch up with him.
If the Academia's Temple of Silence really does exist just to cover up the truth, we should pay a visit to...
Yes. As the sage...
If this situation is connected to the real Temple of Silence, the...
Kale, could I trouble you to send a message to the Core of 30? Tell them... Traveler, Paimon, you two come with me. We'll go after Cyno.
Sounds like a plan. Let's go.
Cyrus has been living in the city lately. He rented a place near the field so he can keep an eye on his tomato plants.
Then let's go look for him there.
Peace prevails throughout the land, and all things are made new, as buds in the spring. This is an auspicious era for humanity.
here we are. This.
We might be too late. Looks like nobody's home. Oh, Cyno moves fast. If he was here, he's probably long gone by now.
I know that voice. Is that Tighnari I hear?
Ah! Professor Zaha Hadid!
Wow, so it really is you. My goodness, whatever.
We're looking for Cyno. So, he's already been.
Yes, not long ago, in fact. He knocked on my door and asked if I'd seen Cyrus. I told him the old fool left early this morning. It must have alarmed Cyno, because he took off in an awful hurry after that. He never did explain what this was all about. How serious is it?
Well, if Cyrus isn't at home... Oh, it sure doesn't sound good.
Professor, did you hear that a student recently tried to extort Cyrus?
Why, yes. When I left the house that day, I could tell something was trouble. After seeing the letter...
Huh? Cyrus...
As a former sage, it's possible Cyrus still has enemies at the Academia.
So Cyrus initially hoped to stop...
Oh, dear. What on earth has that old fool gotten himself for? Oh, I almost forgot. Cyno left me this letter to pass on to you. He wrote it when he came by.
Thank you.
What does it say? Let Paimon take a look! My friends, this is a rather complicated state of affair. Unfortunately, I cannot disclose more than that.
Yep, that sounds like Cyno. Thank you, Professor. Traveler, Paimon. Let's head to the Academia and regroup.
The secrets of the mechanical arts are too profound to convey in a few simple words. Oh, but why must the listener grow weary whenever I begin to divulge them? Skyward! Scatter! Skyward! Scatter!
You're here? I thought you were going after... Ah,
We went to Cyrus's house.
he didn't say where he was going?
No, he left us alone.
Can't say I'm surprised.
Typical Sino. Anyway, some updates on progress on our end. I drew the emblem from memory again, but in more detail this time.
I checked some ancient texts for a similar design. The one I found was a little blurry, but the similarities in the general form and certain details were clear enough to confirm a match.
Yeah, and we're lucky we found anything at all. It turns out the emblem was all but lost to history. We scoured the entire Academia collection, and that book was the only one with a record of the motif.
Meanwhile, Arav managed to get Uraka to disclose his source. The one who told him about Cyrus's embezzled funds was a young man from the desert. According to Uraka, he had a striking presence and was well educated.
Apparently, the two met in the tavern over a game of cards. The guy claimed to be in the city for business. Uraka was intrigued when he heard what his new acquaintance had to say, and brought up the idea of extorting Cyrus for Mora. The guy encouraged him to go ahead with it, then handed him some pen and paper to write.
I see. So it could be that this person planted the paper intentionally.
So, how do we find this guy? Did Uraka say where he is?
He doesn't know. He claims not to have seen him since that day in the tavern. The man gave...
Nephis and Arav have gone to meet the Court of 30 and review the city's entry and exit records. Also, Nephis admitted that the Temple of Silence in the Academia is just a facade. The true Temple of Silence once came to the rainforest to establish a collaboration with the Academia. But, as time went by, the sages gradually became corrupt and foolish. The Temple of Silence felt that they could no longer trust the Academia. Ever since its inception, at its roots, it was a
The Academia of the day knew that the split would damage their reputation if it became a matter of public knowledge. And so, they set up a dummy organization of their own.
Not only that, but they managed to keep up the charade for hundreds of years!
So how did Cyrus become acquainted with the true Temple of...
I'll bet that's the question that bothered Sino. Probably why he went after him in such a rush.
Whoever is behind this, getting Uraka to extort Cyrus was only the first step of the plan. Their true goal in doing so was for Cyrus to see the emblem on the letter.
He must have recognized it right away. That'll be why he didn't want to involve the authorities. He probably hoped to take care of the whole thing by himself. Unfortunately for him, Sino had other plans.
Since the desert is where the Temple of Silence originated, that is in all likelihood where Cyrus went.
I have to go after him.
Really? Are you sure that's a good idea, with how you respond to the heat? Why don't we send someone else?
I should be fine, as long as I bring plenty of water. Besides, I just can't shake this ominous feeling that if we don't catch up to them soon...
Everyone, I have news from the Core of 30.
Master!
Oh, so that's Nafis, Tainari's master? Oh, we're finally getting to meet him in person!
It's a pleasure to meet you, Traveler. Several independent eyewitnesses have reported seeing I was going to suggest that you join forces with the Core. The Academia has made a number of decisions throughout history that I am ashamed to talk about. I won't attempt to make you
I understand where you're coming from, Master.
Good point. Everyone, we have to get Cyrus and Sino back safely. We cannot afford to lose them.
Need our help? Whatever you need?
Really? Wonderful. You have my most... Arav and I will continue to follow up on the lead from Tighnari. Your plan...
I am. Kaveh, I'll be okay. You stay behind to help Master and Alhaitham.
Well, if you're sure... Okay. But be careful.
Thank you all. Arav, let's go.
You'd better get moving. Don't forget to ask for help when you need it.
Will do. Let's go, Tighnari. Hopefully we can catch up with Cyno before it's too late.
Knowing him, he's probably covered a fair distance already. But
Skyward! Peace prevails throughout the land, and all things are made new, as buds in the spring. This is an auspicious era for humanity.
Okay, we made it to Caravan Ribat. Where should we... Maybe we should ask the nearby guards if they've seen anything.
hold on. Look over...
Is that Dia?
You sure you want to brave the desert alone?
It's not my first time.
Cyno.
If you're really going to go through with this, then at least take our advice. When you're packing for your trip, budget for 5 days more than you plan to spend out there.
Makes sense. Okay, I'll go get ready.
Thought we might find you here. You're trying to retrace Cyrus's steps, aren't you?
Didn't I tell you not to come after me? I thought I had a good lead on you.
Well, sorry, but we never agreed to that. Why would you go off on your own like this?
Nothing personal. It's just a complex situation. And I'd rather not involve anyone else if I can help it.
Takes a special kind of person to get Cyno chasing them all the way out to Caravan Ribat. But why so coy today, huh? You only gave us his age and description. Why can't you reveal his name? Is he Sumeru's most wanted or something? Oh, also, hey guys, it's been a while.
Dia and Candace! So nice to see you. Actually, seeing all of our friends is the whole reason we're here.
You're looking well. Glad to see it. Candace and I came to Caravan Ribat on business. We ran into Cyno as he was asking about some elderly gentleman's whereabouts. Some people say they saw him. Guess he stood out as an older guy heading into the desert alone. That's gotta be one heck of a story there.
Sino, it's okay if you can't tell us anything about the case. But let us know how we can support you. We're here to help however you need. The more people we have working on this, the quicker we'll be able to find the person you seek.
No, it's not that simple. If I'm right...
We spoke with Zaha Hadid.
Sounds like this is...
Still, if he started from...
My thanks to you both. Once this is resolved, I will find a way to repay you.
Come on.
That's a deal.
All right, so, you all set?
Yes, we'll handle it from here. Thank you again for your help. I don't take it for granted.
All right, then we'll leave you to it. Just remember, if you change your mind and need some reinforcements, we'll be here.
And don't think you'd be imposing. You can depend on us.
Don't worry, we'll keep him out of trouble.
The secrets of the mechanical arts are too profound to convey in a few simple words. Oh, but why must the listener grow weary whenever I begin to divulge them?
Hold on. There's a few things I'd like to clear up.
Go on.
So, after you left the campsite, we had a longer talk.
Clearly, we've only scratched the surface of the Temple of Silence question. It doesn't surprise me at all that the one in the Academia is a fake.
Do you have any connection with the Temple of Silence?
I do. I trust you're all aware of the spirit that gives me my power. Hermanubis, the original founder of the Temple of Silence. Due to my unique... But my memory of that time is hazy. I can't recall much. It's a good thing that Kaveh noticed the emblem on the letter. Without that, I don't know if we would have connected the dots. I did not recognize that symbol at all. Whether that's because I've never seen it, or because...
Yeah, you're right. Thank goodness for Kaveh, and for Alhaitham's diligence during his time.
But Cyrus must have recognized it right away, right? Otherwise, he wouldn't have had any qualms about you reporting it.
I suspect so too. Professor has never once mentioned the Temple of Silence in conversation. And whenever the conversation turns to Hermanubis and...
Well, speaking of avoiding things, you do realize, don't you, now that we've caught up with you?
I am aware. And I have accepted it. Or rather, I don't see how I could manage to ditch you en route, so I might as well accept that you're coming with me.
That's right. Fact is, we're coming with you whether you like it or not, so the best option now is to try to look out for each other. Ha!
Fair enough. Then at least let me buy you a drink once we're back in the city.
Works for me. All right, off we go. Let's start by seeing what the guards here can tell us.
Hello.
Mahamatra Sino?
I'm looking for someone. So I'd like to confirm any recent foot traffic in and out of Aaru Village.
A man matching that description passed by Aaru Village not too long ago. He stopped by to load up on food and water and feed his sumpter beast, then he was on his way.
Where was he going?
Let me think. He took a seat by the entrance of the village for a while, and had a brief chat with the person who came to deliver the water. Do you have a map?
I have one.
Great. There you go.
Thank you so much. You were a great help.
You've got a really good map.
Ah, you're quite welcome. Just doing my job. Best of luck. I hope...
Skyward! Skyward! Scatter!
Hold on. Nice.
Do you think it's safe to...
Should be. I'll go.
No. I'll do it.
Huh? Why can't Sino go talk to them? What?
Given my background, appearance, and the way I dress, I might not be the most.
Ah, hello there. I hope I'm not interrupting. My friend and I are...
Oh, a missing person, huh? Sure.
I'm just wondering if you've seen him.
So, a silver-haired guy in a long robe, culture type with thoughtful eyes, and he's traveling...
He'd stand out like a sore thumb around here.
Yeah, sounds like the kind of guy we'd remember if we saw him.
He's looking behind me.
Uh-oh. That could...
Your friend over there stands out a lot, too. Hey! Aren't you Sino, the General Maham?
Yes.
You don't seem surprised.
It wouldn't be the first time.
Oh, you're the one looking for the old man.
I have a bad feeling about this guy.
Someone's on edge. You don't... No need to hide it. I understand why you're wary of us.
I thought you were a group of merchants. Seems I was mistaken.
Your henchman...
Hey!
Suits me.
Just cut to the
All right, come with me. All of you. Don't you want to find your silver-haired...
So you know where he...
Just follow me.
Yeah! Skyward! Scatter!
And... here.
What? Where are you looking? There's nothing here!
Please, step back.
Whoa! Something's coming out of the ground!
What is this enormous building doing here?
And how was it so well hidden? King Deshret's technology?
Wait, so...
Is this the Temple of Silence? So you're a member?
All good questions. There'll be plenty of time to address them later.
If you are presently unoccupied, perhaps we could stop a...
This is not what Paimon was expecting to find in the desert, especially not hidden right next to an oasis. Ooh, Paimon's scared. They must have kidnapped Cyrus. Do you think this is the guy Raka met in the tavern?
What's wrong? Thinking about your professor?
I just hope for your sake you haven't done.
Me too. All right. You can wait here for now. I'll inform our leader that you've arrived at the Temple of Silence. Sit tight until he comes to greet you.
So he's just gonna leave us here unattended? Maybe we're not being kidnapped after all.
They can't have been at the Oasis by chance. They were waiting for us. Whoever the leader is here, they were obviously counting on us showing up.
So this is the Temple of Silence. After leaving the rainforest, they...
Hey, look! That guy's coming back.
Don't worry. Someone will come and call for you soon.
What's your name?
Sorry, guess I was so delighted to see you, I forgot to introduce myself. My name is Sethos. I'll be here if you need me, but I'm not planning on answering all of your questions. Other than that, you can occupy yourselves however you see fit.
So we're free to explore by ourselves?
Yep. I mean, I'm not worried about you running off. Cyrus is here. And unless I've misunderstood, you're all quite anxious to see him again.
He's right. Well, if...
Hey, Sethos! Have you got some time to chat?
Sure. Although, I'm assuming by chat, you mean you have questions for me? I don't blame you. Anyone else would. Not often. The Temple of Silence is a place of quiet and solitude. We don't get too many visitors. Yes, that was me. Although, he insisted that nothing was off the table, even if it broke the law. So, I told him that Cyrus had embezzled a large sum of Mora from the desert.
So you framed Cyrus for a crime that he did not commit?
No. That's not entirely true. Let me jog your Of course. Uraka was a great accomplice, really. Very cooperative with a little bit of wine in him. Did exactly what he was told. And
why did Cyrus leave for the desert as...
You'll have to ask him that. All you need to know is that he recognized our emblem. What kind of question is that? He's the General Mahamatra.
Right, but back at the Oasis, you can't have known who he was for sure, or you wouldn't have asked him. So, what we're really asking is, have you never seen him in person before?
I've lived in the desert my whole life.
Ugh, why does Paimon feel...
Come on, we've only just... Yes, that was... He insisted that nothing was off the table.
So you framed Cyrus for...
No. That's not entirely... Of course.
Why did Cyrus leave for the...
You'll have to ask him that one yourself. All you need to know is that he recognized our emblem. What kind of question is that? He's...
Right, but back at the Oasis...
I've lived in the desert my whole...
Ugh, why is...
Come on, we've only just met. Yes, that was me. He insisted that nothing was off the table.
So you framed Cyrus for a crime that he did not commit?
No. That's not entirely true. Of course. Uraka was...
Why did Cyrus leave for the...
You'll have to ask him that one yourself. All you need to know is that he recognized our emblem. What kind of question is that? He's the general...
Right, but back at the Oasis...
I've lived in the desert my whole life.
Ugh, why does Paimon feel...
Come on, we've only just met. Yes, that was me. Although, tricked is a stretch. He insisted that nothing was off the table, even if it broke the law. So, I told him that Cyrus had...
So you framed Cyrus for a crime that he did not commit?
No. That's not entire... Of course.
Why did Cyrus leave for...
You'll have to ask him that one yourself. Certain things I can't answer for. All you need to know is that he recognized our emblem. And it was his own choice to take the bait. What kind of question is that? He's the General Mahamatra. Everyone in Sumeru knows who he is.
Right, but back at the Oasis, you can't have known who he was for sure.
I've lived in the desert my whole life.
Ugh, why does Paimon feel like this guy's
Come on, we've only just... Yes, that was me. Although, tricked is a stretch. He was asking everyone in the tavern about ways to make some easy money. He insisted that nothing was off the table, even if it broke the law. So, I told him that Cyrus had embezzled a large sum of mora from the desert.
So you framed Cyrus for a crime that he did not commit?
No. That's not entirely true. Let me jog your memory. The letter Of course. Uraka was a great accomplice, really. Very cooperative with a little bit of wine in him. Did exactly...
Why did Cyrus leave for the...
You'll have to ask him that one yourself. All you need to know is that he recognized our emblem. What kind of question is that? He's the General Mahamatra.
Right, but back at the Oasis, you can't have known who he was for sure, or you wouldn't have asked him. So, what we're really asking is, have you never seen him in person before?
I've lived in the desert my whole life. Guess you could say I've never had the pleasure.
Ugh, why does Paimon feel like this guy's not being straight with us?
Come on, we've only just... Yes, that was me. Although, tricked is a stretch. He was asking... He insisted that nothing...
So you framed...
No. That's not entirely... Of course.
Why did Cyrus leave for the desert as soon...
You'll have to ask him that one. All you need to know is that he recognized our emblem. What kind of question is that? He's the General Mahamatra. Everyone in Sumeru knows who he is.
Right, but back at the Oasis, you can't have known who he was for sure.
I've lived in the desert.
Ugh, why does...
Come on, we've only just met. Yes, that was me. He insisted that nothing was off...
So you framed Cyrus for...
No. That's not entire... Of course. Uraka was a great accomplice, really. Very cooperative with a little bit of wine in him. Did exactly what he was...
Why did Cyrus leave for the...
You'll have to ask him that one yourself. All you need to know is that he recognized our emblem. What kind of question is that?
Right, but back at the Oasis, you can't have known who he was for sure, or you wouldn't have asked him. So, what we're really asking is, have you never seen him in person before?
I've lived in the desert my whole life. Guess you could say I've never had the pleasure.
Ugh, why does Paimon...
Come on, we've only just met. If I give you all the answers up front, you'll have nothing left to look forward to. Yes, that was me. He insisted that...
So you framed Cyrus for a crime that he did not...
No. That's not entirely true. Let me jog your memory. Of course.
Why did Cyrus...
You'll have to ask him that one. All you need to know is that he recognized our emblem. What kind of question is that? He's the General Mahamatra. Everyone in Sumeru knows.
Right, but back at the Oasis, you can't have known who he was for sure, or you wouldn't have asked him, so...
I've lived in the desert my whole life. Guess you could say I've...
Ugh, why does Paimon...
Come on, we've only just met... Yes, that was me. He insisted that nothing was...
So you framed Cyrus for...
No. That's not entirely true. Of course. Uraka...
Why did Cyrus leave for the desert as soon as he received...
You'll have to ask him that one yourself. Certain things I can't answer for him. I'm neither judging. All you need to know is that he recognized our emblem. What kind of question is that? He's the...
Right, but back at the Oasis, you can't have known who he was for sure, or you wouldn't have asked him, so...
I've lived in the desert my whole life.
Ugh, what?
Come on, we've only just met. Mm-hmm.
I never imagined that the true
That's King Deshret's technology for you.
We should be wary of our...
Ah, here he is. Grandfather, the person you wish to see is here.
Well done, Sethos. Greetings, one and...
Professor!
Cyrus, are you okay?
Ah!
Watch what you're doing!
Oh, my apologies. We have no intention of causing you distress. But you must understand, Cyrus is of... Cyrus owes me...
Just leave, Cyno.
So that's why
Some things in life...
Cyno didn't make us do anything.
My secrets are secret.
You're afraid, aren't you? You recognized our emblem because you knew as soon as you saw the letter that we, not Uraka, were the ones speaking to you. It threatened you only because you know what you did. For you, but then, we both know what I said to you that day. That as the leader, I grant you permission to leave, but that one day, the sands of time will catch up with you. And when that day comes, you must pay the price you owe.
You really know how to hold a grudge.
Hermanubis is my...
Does he mean you?
The moon is right. He rescued me from the brink of death once, many years ago in the desert. When he learned that it was the moon proposed, many believed one other child was identified.
For many years, the test subjects were... The original plan was for a 3-stage experiment. As the second stage began, I realized a decision had to be made. Should we implant the... But as I was deliberating, both Ba fragments suddenly became active. They glowed with a light. Our 2 vessels had both displayed great to preserve our faith.
Ultimately,
in recognition of your past contributions, I have always wanted to see you, Cyno.
I see. So that's how I gained my power.
Look, in essence, I borrowed your Ba fragment for a decade or so. And now you are seeking justice. If you want to take my life, then so be it. I'm an old man now anyway. But you cannot lift a finger against Cyno.
I'm sure you don't remember you and he. As a follower of Hermanubis, I have allowed this power to remain in the rainforest for far too long. Now, it is...
That power is not yours to reclaim. Cyno was chosen by the gods.
You are wrong. Cyno was...
So those are your terms for free?
Despise me all you want. My sins are my own.
So what you're saying is, the power of 1 Ba fragment is not enough? You're asking me to...
Divine power.
He is no longer a small child, but...
Both my heart and mind...
Don't listen to him, Cyno. That power is not...
I know.
Sorry to interrupt, but in my view, there are a number of contentions here that still need addressing. Say that Cyno refuses to return his power, and you also refuse to release... You're trying to gauge where we stand while
Wait. Everything we have longed for, Hermanubis will provide. Perhaps this very day we'll...
so much.
Moon, you...
Take our leader back to his room. Grandfather, I know what you wish to say. Leave this in my hands. I don't like to drag out conversations, so had Cyrus not stopped the experiment all those years ago, the plan would most likely have been a success. The wisdom of... Still, it's no use talking about what-ifs. We cannot change the past. I'm not like my grandfather. The Temple of Silence has a grand legacy and a sacred duty to fulfill. So it's somewhat inevitable for the... But I see things a little differently. I don't believe the temple has the same stature that it once did. So I'm not going to force your hand. You're all free to leave. Except for Cyrus.
I just... Things will only continue to improve. Why not consider cooperating with the Academia once more?
If you hadn't betrayed my grandfather, I might well be open to persuasion. But it's a bit too late for that now.
All you embalm ultimately.
I'm glad to see you're giving it some serious consideration.
I won't forsake my professor. Nor do I intend to run from a problem that I must face sooner.
That works. Then I'll be waiting to hear your verdict, Cyno. Oh, my grandfather still has a fair few things he wants to say to Cyrus, so...
Are you sure about negotiating with him?
I need to think this through. Everyone, let's meet again later tonight. Until then, take some time for yourself.
Alright, well, don't put too much pressure on yourself, Cyno. If you need any help working things out, just come and find us.
I've taken some time to reflect on. He's a stubborn man who tends to double down when he feels strongly about something. We won't get anywhere trying to convince him to escape.
I agree.
You've heard all you need to hear about my own memories of... I do remember having... I was still young then, and all I could understand was that there was a strong will inside my mind. I think the power that came to inhabit my spirit was probably one of the cornerstones of their whole faith. So if the will and might of Herm Anubis is a real, intangible thing, and they are its rightful worshippers, then...
You're not gonna give in to their demands, are you?
No. I have no intention of returning it. I need this, so I will challenge them and win the right to...
This reminds me of something Alhaitham mentioned to me just before we left. Kaveh has made similar observations about the desert tribes from his work trips there. He says many of them have their own internal rules. They talk about the importance of never dishonoring. I think we could turn that to our advantage.
Wow, and just like that, we've turned the tables on them.
Looks like we have the same... Turn it back on them now while we still can.
Great. And I know just how...
Sethos, let's talk.
Have you made up your mind?
We'll get to that, but first, I
have no objections, although we do have our own doctors here.
Only...
Follow me. Keep your voices down. We don't want to disturb him.
Let's talk outside. Bamoon has fallen into a deep coma, and his prognosis is quite grave. I'm sure that he appears to have sustained a serious injury in his youth, which has been exacerbated over the years by the Regretfully, I must inform you that, based on what I've seen with patients in a similar condition, he doesn't have long left. A few days,
yeah.
You're his heir, aren't you? You clearly have a lot of respect for the man. But you also see things differently. You have a broader range of concerns and a more pragmatic approach. So tell me how we can end this on your terms. Let's find a way to bring all this to a resolution while Bamoon is...
Yeah, there's no time to wait.
You know, the two of you are
Right, and you didn't create the...
You're right. I accept. Sign. Legend has it that when Hermanub... That group of supporters...
Sounds very fitting.
As a fellow vessel of Hermanub...
3 against 3.
However, I have some... Letting Cyrus leave with...
None needed. If I win, the Temple of Silence... If you win...
It's a deal.
Peace prevails throughout the land, and all things are made new, as buds in the spring. This is an auspicious era for humanity. The secrets of the mechanical arts are too profound to convey in a few simple words. Oh, but why must the listener grow weary whenever I begin to divulge them?
Well,
there never was.
You have to win.
Yeah, that's right!
Yeah. When you...
Exactly!
The Traveler and I will never lose.
And neither shall I. The desert was home to an ancient and great civilization that, for a variety of reasons, fell out with the civilization of the rainforest. It's just as Dia said. But there must be personal factors at work here, too. I can't shake the feeling that Bamoon cares for many more things than he lets on. And I don't think that Sethos is any kind of villain. He's just doing what he thinks is best. Tomorrow, everything will be resolved.